And I am particularly excited because this segment needs no introduction. And you just heard their music. Worlasi and Mensa are here with me in the studio. And we're coming to discuss, these two conscious musicians will be delving into their music, but also touch on issues of national importance. And with me in studio right now is, introduce yourself.
My name is Worlasi. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I'm so excited to have you.
Tell me why are you excited? Tell me why.
Oh, of course, it's a new year and I have you in my studio.
You are empowered.
And Mensa joins us via Zoom. Mensa, you're welcome to the show.
Please, thank you.
How are you doing?
Oh, Charlie, I've got a cold.
Oh, I'm sorry. On the first day of
fine.
2024.
Please say it again.
On the first day of 2024.
Oh, Charlie, it's good. It's good.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome, gentlemen, to the AM show. And I'm very delighted to have both of you here, actually. And let's start like this. How would you describe your 2023? Let me start with Mensa, who's been on the line for us for some time. Mensa, how's your 2023 been?
For me, it was just more about taking time for myself, and perhaps my immediate family, and just, I've been working. I've been a fully working man since I was since I was 17 or 18 years old. So 2023, I was just sleeping without any guilt.
Oh wow, you start here.
Yeah, I start here. So I was sleeping. 2023 was the year of sleep and not feeling guilty about getting rest and being in one place, just being in one place and just, enjoying my family and my children. Really.
If you say sleep, is it literally wake up, sleep, not go anywhere, no work, nothing?
As soon as I do the bare minimum of work, then I sleep. It's so important. I think, I spent a few years just running around like a headless chicken. I think a lot of people often feel like this. And, this generation, or generally, society makes you feel guilty about resting, and making time for yourself. So this 2023, I was reclaiming my time, as they say, and just sleeping. If I didn't have to go, I'll just stay at home and sleep. So that's been my 2023, and just observing, just watching people running around, getting tired while I was sleeping.
Well, we just listened to Ice but No Ice. What really was in your mind when writing that song?
Yeah, I mean, this also kind of goes back to my, reclaiming my, the short history behind this song is that, it was written, 10, 11 years ago.
Wow.
And I finally released it on my album. And then I did, during COVID, we did a live performance with some musicians. And, it's a shame that a song that was written maybe 12 years ago still resonates accurately now. So if you don't sleep, you will die.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. It's a song about just, I think leadership, leadership and centering our youth in everything that we do, and I guess the lack thereof of that, that's really what the song is about. I think that's one of our. I don't want to start the new year also kind of doing this kind of critical or criticism or things like that, but really that's what the song is about. And for me right now, I'm just tired, so I'm sleeping.
I get you, but let's engage you more on that. I mean, what would be your perfect description of Ghana in 2023?
Ghana is our Ghana is the perfect paradox of life. It's like we have everything, we also have nothing. But I'm forever, hopeful because is what we have. I think it's up to us to just, as individuals, just look after each other. You know, the usual rhetoric, because you can't look elsewhere. We just have to look after each other and, you know, just try and give the youth some hope. That's really all I can think about, you know, how there's a sense of hopelessness amongst the youth.
So what really annoys you about Ghana? I mean, just to put it bluntly.
Charlie, you know, I feel like you want to ask me something, so I'll say something bad about my Ghana our new year. But you know, I just want to touch base with the young people, because we are the ones who are going to do something special, you know. So I feel like young people have been highly disappointed and highly neglected and highly disregarded, highly disrespected, you know. Our young people, we don't love our young people. It shows in the kind of decisions we are making, you know, for the country in terms of policies, you know, investment, funding, you know, education, healthcare, all these things. It just shows that we don't really care. There's no big picture for the future of the youth. That really is my focus. That's all I can think about, if I'm being honest, you know.
Interesting submissions there, but please hold on to your thoughts. We'll be coming back at you. But let's get to the studio now and speak to Worlasi. Worlasi, Happy New Year. How are you doing?
I am doing very well.
You look very good, by the way.
Thank you.
I like your shirt.
Thank you.
And it's one of my favorite colors.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, how did you spend your last night in 2023?
I think I was recording a song for my next project.
Oh, already?
Yes, and I spent some time with my family outside the house, and then some of my friends also called me, and then we spent some time together. Very old friends, and I came to sleep around 4 o'clock, and then I came here.
Wonderful, interesting, very eventful day. But let me also pose the same question to you. What's your perfect description of 2023 in Ghana?
2023, I think it was, I would say, in Ghana.
Or let me just make it generally. Yes,
yeah,
your
me,
2023.
I think it was a year of direction. You know,
Okay.
I felt like I had a better direction for myself as a creative person. I was gearing towards letting my fans and the people around me understand who I was. I wasn't scared to create how I wanted to create. I wasn't scared to do something that I wanted to do.
Okay.
You know, I'm becoming the true artist that I've always wanted to be. I can create anyhow I want, depending on the genre of music, depending on the concept of music, what I'm saying, how I'm saying it, how I dress, how I look. And I think it was just a perfect year of direction for me. Yes.
Interesting. But please tell me, I mean, how do you think Ghana fared, I mean, in 2023?
Charlie, like Mensa said, honestly, Ghana has everything. Like, it's a beautiful place. You can do almost anything you want. I think it has the freedom for you to be anything you want. You know, Ghana has that space, and there are no borders now. You know, you have amazing people coming out from all over the world. It's easy for you to connect with people around the world if you're creative. No matter which discipline you find yourself in, it's easy for you to just connect to the world if you want to. So I think Ghana has made me believe that anything is possible, if I have to say. And then the youth is very very strong and energetic, you know, in getting whatever they have to get where they want to.
You know what's interesting?
What?
You and Mensa keep saying that Ghana is a beautiful place.
Yes.
And you know what not. But why don't your lyrics reflect that? Instead, it is like going hard.
It does.
The leaders that do
it. It does reflect it.
But more often goes the other way.
Because if you love something, you straighten it. Like if you love something, you protect it. If you love something, you try as much as possible to speak on the things that can make it better.
Right.
So all the things we speak of are things that can make Ghana a better place. It's not things that is making Ghana a worse place. And people need to understand that these things are happening so that we can be aware. You know, before something can change, you have to be aware. If you don't know that you are cuckoo,
Right.
you're crazy, you cannot fix yourself. If you don't even know your teeth is paining you, you will not go to the dentist.
Well, how many times?
How many
We just had it.
Yes.
what kind of message were you trying to get out there?
Ah, man, Charlie, how many times, man? How many times will we complain about roads? How many times will somebody die because of the road? How many times will the waters be brown because some Chinese person is they're mining gold, or ourselves? How many times will we complain about light? How many times will you have light off? How many times? Like, it's a lot. There's so many things that we always complain about every year, ever since we've been born. Repetition is a lot, and so I think how many times represents everything in a very like a very simple way.
Put in a simple manner.
Very simple way, yes.
So tell me, are you frustrated? And you keep saying these things and nothing is being done.
I don't think I'm frustrated. I don't even lie. I think I'm a very comfortable artist as of now. It's just you are an artist, and art is not just something you create for fun. It's part of history. When you are talking about history, there are certain music that reflects on what happened during those times. And sometimes we as artists, we need to use our form to store this history, talk about the happenings and how things can happen can be better. So that when you are gone, the next generation can know what happened and understand that, this news, Joy News said this happened, and Worlasi also said it happened, and Mensa also said it happened, then it means it actually happened. And this is where we are growing from, So it's not just like because we are frustrated personally, it's because we can't see the difference between where we are coming from and where we are. We travel sometimes, and when we do and we come back, it's like we ask ourselves, why can't we have this? We believe we are also intelligent, we are also smart, and we are also empowered enough to get to certain levels as these other humans that we call developed countries.
But you and Mensa seem to be always thinking on the same tangent. I mean, you guys know each other, right?
Yeah.
When are you guys, collaborating on the song? Mensa, you also have to chip in here.
Yeah, I think we have worked on certain things. Some of them are underground; they are hidden somewhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it will definitely come out.
Let's hear it.
It will definitely come out.
You have to spill it here.
We'll spill it here. The first time, the moment and we'll bring it here. I think we've worked on certain things before already, and honestly speaking, Mensa and myself are not the only people speaking about these things. I believe Stonebwoy has done songs about the youth and about having a better country. Even Shatawale has done songs about the youth and how better things can be.
But you see,
so it's not just us. It's just that we go so much on it, so much that it feels as if we are the only people doing it.
So you agree with me, right?
Oh yeah, I do agree, but I'm just letting you understand that what is happening is affecting everybody. Yes.
Mensa, what do you have to say?
But you and me were eating something anyway. No, Wala and I, we always find ourselves in very similar places actually in our line of work. I think this year we actually did a show together somewhere. I think when you was on an art store or something. This thing about I think there's enough people making enjoyment music and so on and so forth. We also have our own one or two enjoyment songs, but just to add to what I was saying, as an artist, I think your job, your number one job is to observe what is going on around you. In a sense, like a historian or a commentator of life, and so you can even talk about heartbreak, but there's no difference from being heartbroken from a woman or by a man or by a woman, and also being heartbroken by your country or by your community or the society that you're in. I think, ours is to just evoke emotions and allow people to live their lives through our art. So it's necessary. If you're an artist and you're not reporting what is going on around you, then half of the job is not done as an artist. But I think that's all it is. Just observing and writing and singing about the things that we are observing.
So if you two were best friends, what would be like the collaboration you'd be bringing out together? What would be? I'm interested in the kind of thing you put on the table. Yeah.
Because when I'm with Worlasi, I think I don't even think that, well, what kind of, I think we'll just be, I have no idea, but
every time
it
we
definitely
meet,
won't be about, you know, it definitely won't be just, just politics or whatever. I mean, I think we're both very sensitive artists in a sense, yeah, that, we are able to express these kind of social ills and make social commentary and things like that. But if we were to make an album together, it would be both, fun, light, talk about love, happiness, partying, drinking some small acquisition here and there, and also just, what's going on around us. I think it would be good. I think it would just be a good mix of all things,
Okay.
For me, I'll be more interested in the direction of the album, like the production, the sound, because Walasi is also very adventurous in how he creates music. So, but we've been in the studio so many times. It's unbelievable.
That's
like
interesting.
him, him in my sessions, I'm in his sessions with Senna, live shows.
How soon are you guys coming out? Because it's obvious that you guys have been together for so long, and yet we haven't seen anything from the two of you.
we are working together. Collaborations amongst artists, it's not just making a song in the fronts together. It's like, I feel like I've collaborated with Bola when he was working with Senna and they're in the studio, and I'm like, hey, listen, I know a guy who can play this instrument very well. Let me introduce him, or this mix engineer. Literally last week, I called Wala early in the morning. I was like, well, I'm trying to mix some new songs. I'm tired of mixing my own songs. Can you hook me up with a mix engineer? And he, within a minute, he had sent me details to the person who makes his last project, and told him, I'll speak to him and tell him, this. So I feel these things are also collaborations. For me, the way I look at my career or the career as a musician, it's not always about who's in, like, being in the what's it called, the front. Being the front runner, being in the limelight, behind the scenes things sometimes are even more interesting to me, and we do that all the time. We collaborate all the time in this sense. And voila.
Even if anything, I feel like during even rehearsals before our shows, we do some freestyles whilst we are rehearsing like one song.
Okay.
and then by the time we realize we've done like 3 songs or 4 songs during rehearsal, and then we are done, we've forgotten about it, because it's like we are playing one beat, right? And then he'll chip in like an idea, and then he says something about Ghana. It could be anything, wachi, jollof, and then we mix it, and it's just kind of like, it's improvising, but it's really nice. And by the time I realize we've done like 4 songs, like, this is a nice song. We say, it's a nice song, and then we forget about it. It's not something you have to force to do because you have to do. It's something that just comes, and then when it happens, it happens. And it's beautiful.
But let me put this question to both of you. If you are to become president for a year, what would you do differently, both of you? I mean, let's start with Wala. What would you really do?
I don't think I've ever thought about this, but I think we have to re-educate our minds on what being a politician is. Are you here to help the next generation or just your generation? I think that's the first thing I would say, because everybody is struggling, including leaders and the politicians as well, because it's somebody comes to power, and then by the time you realize their house is a garden and then they have 7 cars, obviously it's a change, it's a drastic change. Right. So it's obvious that people are struggling, but so the thing is, how are you helping others also as well? Right. So I think we just have to change the mindset of being a politician is. Are you here for yourself or are you here for people? I think that's the first thing that I'll try to change. But it's hard to change the mindset of people, so it's not easy. So.
But you try.
I'll try.
Well, Meta, what would really be, I would say you're on a campaign trail, what would be your 5-point manifesto to Ghanaians for them to choose you to become president?
My first one will be, please don't vote for me because I'm not qualified.
Are you kidding? What would be the other 4?
I think we'll spend all the money trying to find qualified people who have Ghana at the heart of best interest. I think a lot of political leadership is also egos. Just egos, Because to be honest with you, sometimes when I'm watching a television, I hear this minister of this talking, I'm like, bro, you have this position, but I have more sense than you. Like, how is this happening? How is it that the thing that you are saying, you have no idea about what you are talking about? It's just ego and who's your friend and who puts you on here. So I think we really have to focus on finding the right people for the job, people who have a certain work ethic and have Ghana at heart and things like that. I mean, it's difficult. Anybody can come and say whatever they want. I think, also really going overboard and investing in the youth. I mean, that's the one thing, it's like a country that has a hopeless youth does not have a future.
Yeah, has a hopeless future.
You think that's the situation of Ghana?
Oh, come on. I mean, the brain drain that is going on right now in our country is crazy.
They are all leaving. Smart ones are leaving.
It's like everybody, there's not a single young person who I speak to who doesn't want to try something different somewhere else.
Right.
Because Nkoye, you know what I mean? Unless that person has, a parent who is like, already in the system somewhere doing something to make their life comfortable. But the average Ghanaian is looking for a way out, which is quite sad because, yeah, man. So, I would never imagine myself as president because I don't have the tenacity or, the skills for it. But I think, my efforts will go into just finding the right people who are obsessed with doing things properly.
Right.
Let them do their job. And maybe we'll borrow Kagame every 2 months. Come in.
Can you afford it? Anyway, let's talk about your song. I mean, your album, Wala, The Man and the God, in your song 4 Years, you satirize Ghana's politics. What was going through your mind when you wrote this song?
It's the same thing. Like every 4 years, it's like it's the same thing. Like how many times, every 4 years you can see the repetition in what is happening. Every 4 years there's going to be lies, and then they say they're going to do something, they don't do it, and then they come back. And so I think we channel that frustration into creating some music to make people happy about it, because the whole point of having a better place or a better country is understanding your problem and living with it and making it better, irrespective. So the band and myself, shout outs to Senku Live, found a way of mimicking the Osibisa sonic sound. So it was sonically like the Osibisa sound, because we wanted to revive that sound. We thought it was a very rich sound, and so we brought it back. And we used some lyrics that were directed to the frustrations of the youth and what they are talking about into music. And I think it worked out perfectly, because anytime we are performing it, you could see the frustration and then the happiness in the eyes and the mouths of the youth when they are reciting the songs. So, I mean, that's how it all came about. With the Man and the God. It was all because we believe people are playing God on earth. They have the power to give people jobs. They have the power to change people's lives.
Right.
They have the power to also make people frustrated. And you hear politicians threatening journalists and presenters because they are voicing out, because they have the power to do that. And so they have become the man and the God on earth, because they are man, but they are gods on earth, because they have the power to change things. Not the big G-O-D, but like, you get what I mean.
Interesting. Yeah. But let me ask you, is your song played enough in Ghana?
I don't know. I don't monitor that, so I can't tell. But I have some presenters that play my song all the time. Shout outs to Caleb, shout outs to Kes, shout outs to AJ Nelson.
Why I'm asking is that there's a concern that Ghanaian music is not played enough on the airwaves. In fact, there's some who have gone ahead to, project this campaign. Samini, Reggie Rockstone, the rest, giving, forcing, or let me say, campaigning that Ghanaian music is played 80% of the time on our airwaves than other music. Yeah. What's your take on that?
I don't deny that. I think it's very obvious that we play more Nigerian music than Ghanaian music. It's very obvious. We also need to understand that presenters, DJs are artists as well. Like I strongly believe DJs are artists. They curate songs according to how they feel and what they want to play and how they want their listeners to feel. And if the listeners want to listen to something, they play what the listeners want to listen. So once they leave and the listeners are not happy, they feel like they are not good DJs, you know, and they want to do their job. So I don't blame any DJs or presenters for not playing a certain kind of music. Maybe it's because they don't want to play it. Also, too, some of them are being fed by this job. This is their job, you know. And if they are getting paid to play, then that's what they have to play, you know. And we can't force people to change.
Or do you
jobs.
think that the quality of Ghanaians music, as opposed to Nigerian music, is not?
No.
It's not. So why?
Ghanaian music is
you think our
amazing,
people are not, you know, patronizing our music? Why aren't our people patronizing our music?
I think it has to be an effort by the whole Ghanaian entertainment industry to play more Ghanaian music. We have to make that effort. There was a time that Ghanaian music was playing in Nigeria more than Nigerian music. There was a time. I think there was a time they also made an effort to push more Nigerian music in their country. There was a news out, I don't know if you remember, and they did that. So there has to be an effort. But we can't also deny the efforts that other countries are putting into their music. The number of money they are putting into pushing their music, the number of efforts they put in marketing, it's definitely going to reflect in the ears of the listeners. You understand? I was driving from Takoradi to Accra the other day, and we're playing like all Ghanaian music from Lord Kenya, Mochami Kwame, Obrafo.
Was this your own vehicle, or
yeah, it's my own vehicle. It's not. It wasn't something else. Listen, it's my own vehicle. So it's like, and you could see the fun. We were singing word to word, like we were reminiscing all these hit songs back to back. So they are like huge songs and very good quality songs that have been produced in Ghana ever since. Even today, if you play Daddy Lumbe's song, the quality of the song is top notch.
Well, interesting there, but these are hits that have gone. You think we have quality, the recent songs that we have that have the same kind of quality?
Obviously they do. This is just, even if the old ones are better, how much more the new ones? Like we have people doing amazing songs. Kwame Eugene, Can Promise, Ifya is doing amazing music. We have all these people, you know, there's so many people are creating dope music. It's out there, it's everywhere. Lamem Gang, like, even the youth are changing. We have Black Sharif,
and the rest.
So like.
Well, Mensa, what's your take on this? I mean, more Nigerian music playing on the airwaves here in Ghana. Do you agree, or you also are pushing for Ghanaian music to be played more?
If a foreigner comes to Ghana or somebody comes to your station as a DJ, you want to show them that you know all the new Nigerian songs, all the new songs that are popping in the world. So, you know, it's our nature. It's our nature, you know.
What do you mean when you say it's our nature? What do you mean by that?
You know, it's like it's better to show people that you know the international flex than value what we have at home.
At the expense of our music?
At the expense of everything. Why do you think imported rice is more popular in Ghana than our own? It's just the way we are, man. You know, it's like we always want to show people that we're also there on top of, you know, and now Nigerians, it's so funny, right? Right now, Nigerians make songs and use Ghanaian words to hit.
Yeah.
Like you find the Ghanaian titles in Nigerian songs.
Odoyo, you know?
It's so nice to see. It makes me very happy.
Why? It makes you happy?
That's what we want, you know? We don't have any capital in this music, you know?
How can we change the narrative, Mensa? I mean, you produce very good quality songs, but doesn't get enough airplay as other Nigerian songs or other songs from elsewhere. What should be done?
Honestly, I really don't know. I really don't have the answers. I just, you know, I think, and I'm being serious when I say I think we have there is a cultural aspect of it. You know, I think, you know, a Nigerian walks into a room, you're playing any other music, like, Omo, why are you not playing my music? Play my song now. What's going on? Straightforward. It's like, why, you know, Ghanaians are more happy to not offend than, we would much rather not offend than to die.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how we are, you know. So it shows in everything that we do. I think you know, we just don't have any capital. Like, you know, when it comes to streaming numbers, you know, Ghanaians are actually streaming more Nigerian music. This is facts. I'm not saying this. I've got people at, you know, in Spotify and Apple Music.
Yeah.
And this is the fact. We're not a strong hold on the streaming platforms. Definitely Nigerians are making better music than Ghanaians. I have to say this. I mean, you can come and if you don't like it, go and hug an electric pool. They are definitely making better quality music because they're investing more money, more time. There's more of an understanding for the importance of arts, but also in an entrepreneurial way. So it's not waiting for the government to do something, but it's just like support, people investing a lot of money into creating world-class music. If you right now, you know, there's very few artists who are taking, and Worlasi is one of them. I have to say, it's not because he's here. I don't really like the guy, but it's, you know, it's like when I listen to Worlasi's mixes, I'm like, okay, this is on par. But sometimes when I go out and I hear like DJs playing and they play Nigerian songs and they switch to Ghana music, the quality just drops in terms of mixes, in terms of like production. You know, there's a few artists who are really doing interesting things, but I feel like our whole attitude towards the whole thing is almost like,
don't care.
We've given up on that flex too.
Yeah.
You know,
that's sad.
Yeah. You know, and let's not even talk about the mainstream Nigerian artists though. I'm talking about Nigerian artists who are doing different things. Like the way Worlasi and myself and some of the bands that we love. They are like, it's on a different level, but there's an entrepreneurial spirit that's going on there that I feel like Ghana started, but we got to a point where we just couldn't grow it any further, you know. But in saying all of this, let me just quickly say this, that it's also a little bit unfair to compare Ghana to Niger, because we're talking about the people with 230 million population, a population of 230 million. And what's Ghana? What are we on? We're not even on 50
Somewhere
million.
in the region of 31 million.
Exactly. So when it comes to numbers, you know, the size of the country is what, like 5 times bigger, you know. And so if they decide to stand behind their music, they're definitely going to make more noise. There's definitely going to be more variety. There's definitely going to be more entrepreneurial spirits or entrepreneurial success. There's so many things to think about.
So what you're saying is we're not investing enough in our music?
It's a lot of things. It's not just one.
Yes,
it's not just one. Right.
But I think that the key point here is that we are not focusing enough on growing our talents as Ghanaians. And there's too much comparison, like looking at Nigeria, looking at this is what we do. And, you know, my friend Manifest said to me, like, comparison is a thief of joy. So because we are so much into, like, what everybody else is doing, what's going on here, we can't really focus. Because we created this Afrobeat sound. Nobody can take that away from us, you know. But now I just feel like there's not one single Ghanaian artist who's doing something so unique. That's like, oh, okay, this is a Ghana sound. There's nothing.
No.
Right. Well, that brings me to royalties. Have Ghana paid your royalties? Well, that's
which royalties? Which one?
What is that?
Which one?
That's sad. You haven't received any
royalties.
Some time back, I went to collect some money. That one day, I'll not even sit here and like. I even tweeted it, and then I think the bloggers picked it up, because the thing is, apparently everybody's money is there, whether you like it or not. I mean, I won't sit there for somebody to chop the small money that I'm not even making. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'll go and collect it anyways, irrespective of whether it is the right amount, it is not the right amount. So
but how much do you earn on your...
Oh, no, I can't disclose that over here. That's too private. I'm sorry.
Really?
Yes, I can't.
Please, me, I can.
Yeah, because
Please do. Let's hear you. Yeah. Let's hear you, Mensa. Have you received any royalties? And how much are they supposed to pay?
Please, the amount that I've received, I think is in the negative numbers.
What do you mean? I cannot understand. Is it -1, -2? What do you mean negative numbers?
Negative million. Yeah.
Mensa, you have to make us understand.
I'm being serious. You know.
So how much exactly?
Negative million. because I've never been paid anything before.
Okay.
But I know that, you know, radio stations play my music, venues play my music, venues play music that I've produced, films that they've shown on TV that I'm behind, that, you know, people don't know that I'm behind, but I've registered everything. But there's the royalty system. I mean, somebody told me, even my father is owed royalties. Somebody just took my father's music and just put it on their advert.
Oh.
And it was on TV for months and months. You know.
So what are you doing to retrieve your monies?
Well, one time we went to Musica, or I don't know if it still exists, and we told them that we are doing a film. So the royalties that they owe us, they should just use it to just support the film as if it's their money. You just pretend that you are giving the money that belongs to us. Pretend like you are the one who is dashing it to us. They told us, okay, they'll get back to us. And we finished the film. 2 years later, we got a letter. After the film was finished and released, already touring with the film. We got a letter saying that they've thought about it and they'll get back to us.
Interesting. Well, we're in an election year, 2024. Very soon we'll be going to the polls. Would you allow politicians to use your songs?
Allow? Yeah, of course. If they have to pay, why not? That's the business. It's a job. If the music suits your campaign, why not? It's just music. I'm not telling anybody to do anything. So if they want to use it, that's the purpose of music anyways. If somebody feels it's suitable for something that they need to use it for, why not? And moreover, you don't know the intention of this politician. So maybe they are trying to actually do some good. The fact that we are talking about politicians doesn't mean we don't need politicians. We do need them. We just need the ones that can do the job.
Right.
It would be nice for us to see a young, innovative politician changing or doing something different. Everybody's talking about Kigali, talking about Rwanda. Everybody's talking about how great the place is. It's just because one person has tried to change something. So if that person is a politician, then it's fine. It's not about the title of the person. It's about the efforts that they put into it. So if a politician comes out and feels like they want to do some change and my music is best to suit that change, why not?
Do they compensate you?
Do they compensate?
Or did I understand the NDC used your
Yes. They have not compensated. I know you are looking for a headline for this interview, so it's fine. They have not compensated.
We're just trying to understand. I mean, what goes into it.
I understand. It would be nice to also know what goes into like the production of our music and where the music.
So they didn't compensate you.
I've already answered that. Where the music goes to. Example like the Angry African, the EP I just released. It's a very, 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 very beautiful project. We took like 6 months to produce this song.
Right.
And I think if people can understand how beautiful it is to come up with these ideas, they will cherish the music more, they will stream more, and then we can have more numbers than Nigerians, you know. But if we focus on the issues that are personal towards artists, it will not let us grow. It will always, every time you go to the news, you know, Worlasi Money, Worlasi Gamro, Worlasi, you know, but when you go and you see Worlasi has plenty streams because Joy News talked about Angry African, then we will start competing with Nigerians.
That's why you're here in the studio anyway.
Exactly.
Well, Mensa, what's your take? I mean,
would I let a politician use my music? I think I'm more towards leaning towards no.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
Personally. I'd say I'm leaning more towards that. Just because politics is, you know, can be a messy game. I mean, okay, my whole approach towards who uses my music is that do their policies align with my policies or their ideologies, you know, and their outlook on life and things like that. Does it align with mine as an artist? So those are the things that I look out for. So it's very likely that none of these, no Ghanaian politician will ever get the opportunity or get, if they wanted to. I don't think my music is something that any politician would want to use, but I would say no. I would say the same way that certain products, maybe like a bleaching cream or something like that, I will never
Which is, no.
allow, anybody to use my music for that. So
You think you'll be tainted?
it's not it's not tainted, but I'd much rather not take that chance.
Right.
I think for me, I'd much rather,
Okay.
especially going by the history of politicians in Ghana. Like, you can only go by what you've seen before, by what their campaigns are and what the actual governorship looks like. It's two very contrasting things. So they can sell you a dream, but when it comes to practicals, and
Practicals.
Mensa, your guy. Yeah, so I think I'll be leaning more towards no. That and bleaching cream.
Well, interesting conversation here in the studio with Mensa and Worlasi, but we'll continue the conversation, but please take a listen to this. So, Worlasi, interesting song there. You look very young then.
Yes, very, very young.
How long ago was
Like
it?
7 years ago or 6 years ago, I think. 6 or 7.
Wow, now life looks good, eh?
No,
You look
it's
very,
still,
very
it's
good
still,
now.
life was good then too.
Really?
Yeah, every time is beautiful, irrespective.
So what was the song about?
It was about life. Like, you have to cherish the moment you have. I think it was during my grandfather's passing, and it was the only time somebody close to me passed. So it hit me different, and I couldn't believe that it was happening. And I think from then I took a chance and an initiative to make sure that I do what I want, how I want, and just go all the way. At the end of the day, Charlie, everybody go back, So when you understand that life is short, you cherish it more. It's beautiful when you even know that it's not as far as it can go. It's not forever. You cherish it more and you value it more because somebody is even looking at what you are complaining about and is hoping that they have that same thing that you have. So it was just a reflection on me valuing life itself, cherishing the fact that I can just breathe and say good morning.
Was that your first commercial success?
No, I don't think that was my first commercial success. I think my first commercial success was my first album, Nusa, because that's what paved the way for me. That's why it was one of the albums that, Manifest Manager Head called me over, Hammerhead called me over, and through that I did songs with Obrafo, Kwakese, Sarkodie, Jirak Stone, and I was even part of the last two's compilation, and I was on like 6 songs on the compilation. So I think that was my first big break, and from there the features also commercialized it more. Features with Jules from London, Show Them Come from Nigeria, like Zlatan, that's where the commercial part started going because it was just features and I was doing hooks, and I think it went well. But I would say the first commercial success was my first album.
Right. Yeah. I know you talk about the fact that it was a time your grandpa passed. Mm-hmm. I mean, putting the song together, which part of it, the process, would you cherish the most?
I think the process I'll cherish the most is when I was alone. I think everybody has their own way of creating, but I like being alone when I'm creating because I think I can reflect on myself and within easily and freely as much as I can. Once there are people around, there is an influence. You're trying to do something because somebody's around or because this person wants it this way or whatnot. So I think what I cherished most about doing this song is firstly me being alone and doing it by myself. Secondly, what I cherished about most is when Senada Gabdu said, yes, I want to be on the song. Right. So she came to the studio and we did it together. I think that was a blast. It was amazing. Yeah.
Well, there's this particular song I love from Mensa. Let's listen to it. So Mensa, this is your song. My favorite thing about it is the video, and I've always I put it on repeat, and I try to understand what is the thought process that went into this. How did you put it all together for it to come out so beautifully?
Wow, it was, yeah. I think we were trying to capture just how bizarre life is. Like, I mean, the song is called Forward, and it's really just acknowledging, you know, our past or our history, even in our own personal lives, everything that we've been through and how we use that to push our way forward, or to look for the next thing or continue living life or keep doing interesting things. But the video, I mean, I was just watching it right now as we're showing, and I was just asking myself, like, what was I thinking, or what were we thinking, when we made the video? But it's got a lot of like little subtext in there. So say for instance, there's a scene where I'm walking and then I end up on a basketball court.
Yeah. And you end up in the library, you're
Exactly.
somewhere in the market, you're buying some.
Exactly. It just moves. But on the basketball court, somebody's holding a golf stick, about to hit a football on a golf court.
Exactly. I'm wondering what was going on in your head at the time. I mean,
It's like Ghana. Oh.
and interestingly, the title of the song, Forward. So you do this and you name the song Forward. I mean, my mind is all over the place.
Yeah.
What did you want me to get out of the song?
It's a state of beautiful confusion. And look, it says the writing is on the wall.
Interesting. And the fact that your back was mostly to the camera. Instead of in front
so
of
just like, so I'm moving forward and everything is like, it's behind me. I go into a library, and the point of that is when I go into a library and I hold the young people's heads, you go into a library to read, right? To expand your mind. So I just went there straight to read people's minds instead of going to read books. It's just like a play on words and on concept. Like that's the walk into the library right now, where it's like they're young minds reading. And so I go there to go and read their minds to get knowledge, which also means like just, staying in touch with the younger generation or understanding how the young people are being educated, or, staying in touch with the minds of the young people, it's just little kind of, just weird expressions and things like that. But if, these things are to just entertain myself and my camp and my team of creatives, for us. And if anybody latches onto it, to them, good for them. But yeah, this is a very bizarre video and I love it. I really love
if you ask me, it's a brilliant piece there. One of the brilliant pieces that has really come out. But let me ask you, what is your resolutions for 2024?
Wow. You know what? I personally, I don't make resolutions, because I feel like when you kind of set, these things, sometimes it can be too overwhelming, or maybe that's not really what you need to be making resolutions about. I think I'm doing a lot more of reflecting on the past year and finding things that are interesting for me to put my energy into. So for me, my whole idea of my career is that every year I take a different aspect of being a musician and I capitalize on it. So sometimes I'm more of a producer, sometimes I'm more of a touring artist, sometimes I'm more of a co-writer and writing for other musicians, and so on and so forth. So this year I'm really thinking about how to present myself in a way that makes is for me as in my creative life, something that fulfills me. I'm also a parent, so I'm also looking for, my kids are growing, I'm also looking for ways to form stronger bonds with my family, with my children, and how to be there for them in a more, because now they're growing. Before I was like, daddy, I just carried them around. But now when I tell them facts, they're like, daddy, sorry, the internet says what you're saying is a lie.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so now I'm also trying to build new, stronger relationships with my family, with my friends, and just looking for different aspects inside of me that creatively that can see me through the year. That's really what it is. Nothing big, just normal every day, and continue sleeping.
All right, but Mensa, do you have any album coming on or coming in this year?
I do. I have 4 albums coming out this year.
Are you releasing all 4 this year?
Yeah. It's all done. It's done. But I was sleeping.
Anyway, it's interesting, and I'll be expecting
Yes.
those albums. Well, let's come to the studio and speak to Wola.
Hi.
So Wola,
Yes.
What's up for 2024?
More music, and improving upon myself as a musician in terms of like the business aspect of music. Trying to get more visibility in the places that I think is needed.
Right.
Expanded my fan base, not by numbers, but by quality. Hopefully traveling more than last year. But yeah, it's just being a better artist and learning more because, like Mensa said, Ghanaians, we need to learn more about the business aspect of music. It's something we don't push as much, and it takes a lot to do that, especially if you're an artist by yourself. So I'm hoping I get to a point where it's not just me as well. You know, there's a whole team that is working towards a particular goal and just growing as an artist. Yeah.
But do you have a favorite? I mean, of the works you've done, do you have any favorites?
Oof, it's hard.
Something that you knew this hit home for me. You know, I think this will always hold a special place in my heart.
Yeah, I think my first album will be the one. Like it will always like be like the top, and it will always hold a place in my heart. Like you said, I like your choice of words.
Well, Mensa, do you have one?
My favorite project.
You do?
I do, and you know, I have, you know, I get tired of my own music very quickly. So my favorites is the new project that I've been working on. You know, so you know, we'll see what that does. I mean, there's some classic things like, you know, the Cause of Money films. I really love that. Every now and then I go back to it and I watch it. And I'm like, wow, I was so not afraid. You know, we were just feeling free and enjoying ourselves. So that always is a nice reminder. If you haven't seen any of the Cause of Money films, those are interesting. And my last album, Bonzi, is an album that just continues to give. You know, it just has so many interesting songs on there, and every now and then I go back to one of the songs and do a remix or do a live performance or, you know, just a new video or something visual for it. So I really, this being a musician is too much for me, honestly. I want to do something else.
Well, let's stick to the album. You say you have 4 albums, right? Can you quickly give us like a line, drop a line or something we should expect, you know?
Yeah, so there's a series of short albums that I'm trying to release. And as I said to you, you know, I'm always trying to find something different in my creative process that kind of tickles my brain and makes me excited to create. So this new album is called the Fear of Love and Happiness series. Fear of Love and Happiness. And it's a mixture of very, very vulnerable love songs. Some also very descriptive.
Can you sing a line?
When you meet Mike Tyson and he tells you the boxer, ask him to give you a punch. And if he does one for you for free,
I'll leave it here, Mensa. I'm hoping to meet you and then you can sing. But anyway,
I will. I'd love to sing for you in person, but once we're on a public distance there, they have to pay. But government won't pay.
Well, we'll arrange that. But thank you so much for taking time out of your sleeping schedule, you know, to spend some time here with us. Very, very grateful for being here with us.
Thank you for making the time for us and the support that you guys also show us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And voila, so blessed. Thank you so much for being here with us in the studio. Yeah. We also appreciate you very much.
Yes.
And we're hoping to hear more songs from you as well.
Happy New Year.
And that's about how we wrap up our show today. You've been listening to the AM show. We'll be back to wrap up, but let's take a break. We'll be right back.